Hello, my name is Oluwafemi Christopher Inabo, a student of Let's Beckett University with student number 772999501. I'm here to discuss about hybrid ensemble approach to investigate the prevalence and to model the determinants of contraceptive use among women of childbearing age in Nigeria. Now, Nigeria is the most populated country in Africa and then the sixth most populated in the world. As a result of the fact that Nigeria is a developing country, the overpopulation that Nigeria has experienced has become a menace to the public health sector, which as a result had shown that there is a high prevalence in the mortality of maternal, uh, infant, children, and of course neonates. Now, this reason is not far-fetched. It is because that Nigeria has been facing some challenges as a result of the overpopulation. Now, the Nigerian government had implemented a scheme, family planning scheme, to curb the excesses of the overpopulation problems. However, on two occasions, the scheme had failed, and the reason is because most Nigerian women, even up to date, still adopt the non-use of contraceptives. And then many studies had investigated the reason why women have the pointers, of course, the determinants of contraceptive non-use among the studied population. But then these studies have used the traditional or the classical statistics to investigate these problems by reporting the p-value against the alpha as a result of the test statistic of the studies. But this study would adopt the use of machine learning based on the fact that machine learning is robust. Research has proven that machine learning and, of course, deep learning is a better measure of classification and prediction. So the study would which is novel to this study, would adopt the use of machine learning and deep learning for the purpose of investigation of the determinants. Now, in this study, I had adopted the use of National Health Demographic Survey data for year 2003, year 2008, year 2013, and year 2018. These years would show the pattern, the pattern of or the trend of the prevalence among the studied population. The aim of this study is to investigate the factors associated to the use of contraceptive among women of childbearing age in Nigeria by adopting the following objectives. One, to critically evaluate the performance and validity of machine learning algorithms in the prediction of contraceptive use among the target population. Two, to investigate the efficacy of contraceptive use among women as a result of progressive pattern from the four seasons. What this would do is to look at the trend in 2003, to look at the trend in 2008, as against 2013 and 2018, and then to see if there is a decline in the trend of the data. And of course, finally, to recommend, based on performance, the best ensembled hybrid approach for classification and prediction of contraceptive use among the study population to the government. What I aim to achieve is for the government to do a pilot test, just to see how well the algorithm would predict, classify, and of course predict contraceptive use now, based on the government adopting recommendations from this project. Now, the methodology for this dissertation is partitioned below. The study had adopted the CRISP-TM, which is the cross-industry standard process for data mining approach, which talks about data, the business understanding. The business understanding here is to see how well our model can be used as to eradicate the problems associated to contraceptive non-use among the population. And then data understanding, which is to understand the pattern of the data, how well the data has been formulated, data validation and the likes. And then data preparation is to prepare the data for the analysis, which is to replace missing values that has been observed, which is data manipulation, which requires to recode if need be, and then modeling the data, evaluation, and then deployment to the Nigerian government. Now, we had from literatures seen most of the pointers of contraceptive non-use, their socio-demographic factors and related factors which this study had used. For instance, the age of women is one factor, the religion, of course, education, location, parity, which is the number of children a woman has, marital status, wealth index, termination of pregnancy, smoking status of the women, the partner's age, and of course partner's education. All of these factors could contribute to contraceptive use or non-use among the population. Now, upon data preprocessing, we would look at data exploration, which is to play around the data to see what we can make the meaningful insights from the data. Now, feature engineering to see which of the variable is a major pointer as compared to the other variables. And of course, this study used for outlier detection, the study used box plots and then scattered plots to see whether or not there are outliers present in the data set. And of course, normalization, the study normalized the data as to make the variable have same metric measurements across, which means we have used between 0 and 1. For instance, age, which is continuous in years, we had adopted it to be between 0 and 1. So what normalization does is to make data be in sync, is to synchronize data whilst the data would still retain its contents without losing any of its form. Now, along the line, the study used smooth. Smooth is synthetic minority oversampling technique as a result of the data imbalance based on the fact that the contraceptive use was relatively low as compared to contraceptive non-use. And going into the analysis, the study adopted the ensemble approach, hybrid ensemble approach. Hybrid in the sense that the principal component analysis was used alongside with the supervised learning algorithm, which is to reduce the dimensionality of the data as to achieve a high accuracy for the result. And of course, the cross-validation was used, of course, to see whether or not outliers or overfitting problem might affect the results that we generate at the end of the study. And of course, the radar basic function network from the artificial neural network was used for deep learning as to look at predictions of usage among the study population. Now, prior to the commencement of this study, the NDHS, the government of Nigeria, has released the NDHS data to researchers as to see what meaningful insights can be gained from the data. And then, before the commencement of the project, the study had gained approval from the Elizabeth University Ethics Committee. And then, of course, since it's a public health project, the study would make sure not to fault the ethics guidelines for research, which is autonomy, beneficence. The study must be benefit to participants, justice, and then non-maleficent. The study wouldn't do any harm to the participants. Going quickly to the results. From the table above, we see the descriptive statistics, which is to show contraceptive use and non-use, and then of course non-usage based on modern, traditional, and folkloric. And of course, the prevalence shows that non-use for 2003 had about 86.8%, while every other one from the bar charts beside it shows 13.2%, which means that the prevalence of usage and non-use is almost constant across borders. So you can see we had for 2003 86.8, for 2008 86.8, for 2013 84, and then for 2018 86.5, which should be 2013 should be as a result of the family planning sensitization that was done for the previous year. Now, for this study, the descriptives was used as to look at the variable interplay within the distribution of the data. For instance, we used measures of central tendency, the mean, median, and mode was reported, measures of dispersion, which is the skewness, and then kurtosis, of course, to see how well the variables are distributed or normalized within the data set. The bivariate analysis, of course, was used, while we use chi-square test to see the measure of association between categorical variables. The t-test was used to see the difference in means between the quantitative variables, and the Pearson correlation was used using the R result, and as a result of the generated heat map was used to see the strength of relationship between the quantitative variables. And of course, it has shown that most of these pointers for the data set we have, it has shown that the social demographic factors, most of the social demographic factors are pointers to non-use. They have strong association to non-use, whilst the p-value is reported against the alpha value of 0.05, that's 95%. Okay, so aside from the marital status, smoking status, and partner age for the year 2003, and then for 2018, the performance of the tests were recorded. So all of these pointers are shown that these variables are the variables are associated to contraceptive non-use among women. Okay, this is of course a pie chart showing the distribution of usage or non-use for the year 2003. Quickly, I would like to show the results of the ensembled machine learning. Now, we have decision tree, XGBoost, and random forest. So both random forest and XGBoost are ensembled approach. For instance, the XGBoost use a boosting method, while random forest use a bagging method. But then the decision tree is the random forest is a robust method of decision tree. So the decision tree is just there to compare the performance of the regular algorithm and then the ensembled algorithm approach. So for the result of 2013, as we can see, it was shown that the random forest had about 75% F1 score results, while decision tree followed by decision tree with 70%, and then XGBoost with about 61%. And then for recall, it shows that the decision tree did perform better than random forest and XGBoost. And then for accuracy, the random forest had about 94% accuracy, while followed by XGBoost and then decision tree. And this result is as a result of the fact that the ensembled approach proves to perform better than the regular algorithm. And then we looked at RAC and RUC, and then it was shown from this chart that the decision tree had performed better than the other ones. But generally, the cumulative performance, it has been shown that the random forest did perform well across the years for 2003, 2008, 2013, and then for 2018. And of course, we moved to using the radar basic function network to see how well the deep learning algorithm can predict the usage of contraceptives. And upon training the data, increasing the number of the batch size, the epoch, and the hyperparameter tuning, of course, we discovered that the numerator had an accuracy of 85.8%, which is relatively okay. And from the observed results, we have shown that the assembled approach addressed the problem associated to contraceptives non-use. And of course, we recommend that the Nigerian government adopt this scheme by creating a pilot study and then using our model to see how well the model would perform on the live data. And of course, we hope that the government of Nigeria will sensitize the population of interest as to make them see reasons why it is important or essential to adopt contraceptive use as to help the economy grow better. Thank you.